Assalamu alaikum everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy to be here with you. Thank you for coming on a Saturday morning. We are all very excited about this event. We will talking about two different things, pronunciation and spelling, in order to teach our students how to best prepare for this event that's coming up. What is your favorite word in English? Number one. Number two, if you are familiar with the IPA, can you write down that word in the phonetic alphabet? Take a minute to think about how you would teach this word to someone. And then at the end, once you have thought about how to teach the word, maybe with the person sitting next to you, go ahead and teach just that one word. I'm glad to see you guys are thinking. This makes my next question a little bit hard. Anybody who did not know the word that they were learning? Was it new for you? Sochna padega. Let's keep this here. Knowledge of spelling helps one become a good reader and writer. This is research, this is evidence-based. Explicit teaching of spelling promotes long-term learning and literacy. I was personally very interested in finding out whether explicit teaching of spelling helps or not, and it was so evident in every article that I read that it actually works. There are many teachers who think, oh, accidental learning happens. As much as you can read, it helps with spelling. You pick up when you see words. It happens, but that is not a reliable system. Explicit teaching definitely works at every stage, at every level. The brain seeks patterns, 100%. It's nature. Once we start teaching rules, this one I liked personally. Social implications of good spelling. These social implications are too serious to be ignored. Resumes, reports, books, research, reviews, all of that impacts credibility. You see one bad spelling and you're like, oh, this person probably was not paying attention. An Amazon review, a product review, you're like, I don't know if I want to trust this person. Research articles, book reviews, definitely. You're like, this person, I cannot trust this person with whatever they're telling me. All right, this is based on debates where most teachers say that there is no truth to teaching rules because there are so many exceptions. Yes, we have exceptions, they do exist. However, exceptions are far fewer than the words that actually follow the rules. So it makes sense and it's a valid point to teach rules first and then move on to exceptions, because yes, they do exist, but that doesn't mean that we don't teach the patterns that do exist. Rote memorization is suggested for irregular words only. Ratta nahi lagana, except for words which have no rule. They don't follow a pattern. There is no other way to learn the spelling other than to memorize them. Now these are the goals. There are 3 and all of them are based on the research that you just heard. To learn or refresh our skills of word phonology, morphology and etymology so we can teach spelling effectively. These 3 ways of looking at a word is how we know a word. How it looks, how it sounds, how it is spelled, what it means, where it comes from. All of these things. And the reason I said to learn or refresh, because this might be new for some of us, but it might be familiar for most of us. Refresh our knowledge of the IPA so we can improve our own pronunciation and teach it effectively. This is something that I personally deeply care about. जब तक हमारे teachers को अपनी pronunciation सही से नहीं आएगी, how are they going to teach it to their students? And most of the times when students are unable to pronounce something correctly, it is because the teacher themselves didn't know. So teacher training is more important than teaching in schools. To learn, exchange and discuss effective spelling and pronunciation teaching strategies based on research and experience. This will be strewn across the entire workshop today. Some of it is amalgamated towards the end. You'll find it here and there, but also in a specific spot. Beginning with the first part, how do we know a word phonologically? And I would like to start with a mini lesson. How many of you recognize this letter or know the sound that this makes? It looks like an N, I know, but what about the little mark on the top? What if I tell you this, we do not use this sound in English? It's a mini lesson from a different language. Because I lived in Mexico, I can speak a little bit of Spanish. I can speak more, but I'm being humble. This letter, this sound exists in Spanish. I'm sure some of you recognized it. For those of you who don't know the sound, can you repeat after me? Ñ. Without looking at the word, when you see the picture, what do you see? This is the word in a different language for bathroom. If you take a jab at how to pronounce this, how would you say it? Very close, very close. Now repeat after me. Ban. Yo. Baño. El baño. Try saying this. What do you think it means? Sun, morning, bright day. I like that. Now this is the point of that mini lesson. What strategy was used to teach you the new sound? Syllables, repetition, pictures? Good. Okay, if you learned the sound, why do you think the learning took place successfully? Now, these are discussion questions that I would like all of you to talk to each other about. Now, I don't know how you are sitting, whether you teach elementary, middle, or high school, which grades you guys teach. Elementary teachers, how do you teach phonemic awareness in your class? How do you teach new sounds to your students? Because this is something that is taught at the foundation levels. High school teachers, how do you teach the sound of more complicated words to older students, like loan words? Words like spaghetti, words like cul-de-sac or champagne. Any word that does not belong in English. Alibi, exactly. So how do you teach those words to older students? And middle school teachers, you are somewhere in the middle, doing a little bit of both. So how do you do that? And the last question, which strategies work and which don't at the level that you teach? Some of you thought it was too easy or too irrelevant, which is perfectly okay. Your students probably think the same about some certain lessons as well. So take 5 minutes, talk about these questions with the people sitting around you.
Workshop in a same pace. I want you to keep.
Okay, I want to focus on the last question. Which strategies work and which don't at your level of teaching? Whatever you discuss with your partner or group, just let me know. You can just shout out the answer, it's okay. Nice. So which level do you teach?
Grade 8.
Oh, grade 8. Anyone who teaches elementary? Yes.
I was just saying that I use the strategy of using prefixes and suffixes to the students. I tell them that we can add the suffix and the same spelling we can use.
Suffix, adding suffixes.
Suffix
Okay,
and
okay.
affixes, all the affixes, either it is pre or suffix.
Yeah. Good, okay. Second way of looking at a word, to know a word, is morphologically. For this one, I have a list of prefixes and suffixes in the pack that you just got. That's a good reference guide. I'm sure there must be a few that's missing, but that's okay. So how do you know a word morphologically? We normally break it into 3 parts, which are roots, prefixes, and suffixes. We are all familiar with this, right? So here's an activity for everybody. In your pack, you have maybe 4 or 5 different pages of word trees. One is blank, and I think the other ones have a root word, and then it has suffixes on one side and prefixes on the other one. So choose any one that you like, make combinations using a prefix and a root word and a suffix, and write down at least 10 words on 10 different branches of the tree. Just the ones that you have. For example, this one, port, to carry. So what you do is just make a combination, export, and write the word export here. Really, really simple, really easy. Or important, you make a new word. The reason for making you do this is an example of how you can use the same activity in your own classes when you teach this to elementary or middle school children. And anyone who's finished early, there's a bonus question for you. This works very well for little children. How would you do the same thing for older students? If you're using this activity for older classes, what are some additional steps you might add?
You need to have a little difficult vocabulary.
Very good, exactly. So the blank tree that you have here, make copies, give them either a list of prefixes and then be like, just bring your own suffixes. This is where the meaning comes in. Etymology. Where do words come from? English mostly comes from 4 different sources. Greek, Latin are the most common ones, and then French and Old English, and then outside of these, English has a ton of words from many other languages, especially when it comes to like specific areas like food, Italian, Japanese, French. So the worksheet that I have for you later on is based on the Greek and Latin ones, but in the next slide, let's look at some French examples. The French accent is very nice. It's fun to say words in French. Okay, can you try saying this word? Chauffeur. The A and U in French sounds as O, chauffeur. Now look at the word next to it. How would you pronounce that? Faux. What is this? Baguette. Usually the E-T-T-E has a meaning. Cigar, cigarette. A smaller version of something bigger, exactly. This one, the next one? Very common word in English, but it also comes from French. Okay, this one. Nice. Cliché. The stress in this word falls on the second syllable. Cliché. And the next one? Soufflé. What is soufflé? It's tasty. All right, so what are you going to do? You look at the examples, then guess the meaning of the roots and list as many words as possible for each. Now, as you can see, for the first two ones, you have the whole thing done for you. For the next three, you don't have the examples. And for the next three, you don't have the meanings or the examples. Guess the meanings of the roots first, and then try to confirm whether you're right or not. Okay, let's move on to the second part, which is teaching pronunciation. The first one was on spelling. Now we're going to talk about teaching pronunciation. How do you pronounce the word teaching what? Yes, it's not pronunciation. It's pronunciation, exactly. We pronounce something, a person who pronounces is a pronouncer, but the concept is pronunciation. Okay, let's move to the IPA. As teachers of English, one distinction for us is very important, the difference between alphabet and letters. Does English have 26 alphabets or does it have 26 letters? Exactly. Alphabet is a group, it's a set. This is the International Phonetic Alphabet. This alphabet has different graphemes, different signs through which we show sound. So that's the good old IPA. What is it? We just answered. It helps us to pronounce words. How? This creates a standard. Whether we talk about a word in English or a word in Spanish or a word that has sounds which these symbols cover. Now this photo I took from the British Council website, and I'll tell you what, they have an app. It's called Sounds Right. I have it on my phone. And it is interactive. It has the same thing, but obviously suited to a phone screen. Each one of these sounds, when you click on it, you can hear it. And then each one of these little squares in the corner, this is a drop-down menu. You click on it and you get 3 words as examples. You don't always have these papers in front of you, but we always have our phone. Let's do the consonants from left to right, okay? Let's make use of our resources. Okay, what's the first one here? Okay, then the one next to it? Next? Ch. Ch. The next one? Sh. The next one? Ka. Here, the second line starting with B. Then? D. Then? J. Right. So this longer, weirder looking Z is actually a J. Like measure or vision or treasure. Last one? G. Okay, here. H, M, N, Ng, R, L, W, and. Are you familiar with short vowels and long vowels? What's the first one? E. Second one? E. Third? U. Short U. Fourth one? U. The long U. Okay, this first one here? Eh. Then? It's the schwa sound. Yes, we have a full discussion coming up on the schwa sound. The sound you hear in bird, earth, the world, my purse, the long sound. That's this one. Okay, the next one after that? It's longer, but aw. Okay, this one in the corner? This is a, like cat, bag. This is a very quick, short a. Like a little forceful, slightly bigger than the schwa, like cut, but, shut, or cup. Okay, this one, the a, ah. long ah, and this one in the corner, it's a very short o. What is a diphthong? When two vowel sounds come together to form one singular sound, that's a diphthong. And we have seven examples here. Actually, 7 phonemes that we have in English in the IPA. Okay, now you know these sounds individually. Put them together. What do you hear? The first one? Ia. Then the next one? Ea. The second line is O. The one after that is ow. And the third line is a, I, and oi. Okay, all of these sounds. Just like diphthongs are 2 sounds together, these are triphthongs, 3 vowel sounds together. Look at the symbols. I. There are 3 sounds. A, E, and A. I. Example words: fire, tired, flyer. Then this is A. A, E, A. 3 together. Player, mayor. Just A. You hear 3 sounds. Then this one. O, E, A. Oil, loyal, royal, lawyer. A, U, A. Our. Quite literally, our, power, tower. And the last one? A, U, A. Owa. Lower, widower, slower. Yes. Now we are a little bit slower. So your bag has the chart. It also has a list of all these sounds with example words. I think that is the first one, I think. This is the app that I was talking about. It's called Sounds Right. I would highly recommend, make a note of it, go to your app store, install. It's really easy. It's just one interactive chart, that's all. You don't have to do anything. Here is the schwa sound we were talking about. This is probably the most frequently occurring sound in English. Where is the sound in this first word? In the beginning. Sleep. What about pizza? Where is it? Banana. The first and the third. The second one is actually longer. Banana. Bonus. Necessary. Necessary. This one definitely, the s, necessary. It's very short. Also, depending on how you say it, the second syllable. Necessary. It's not that pronounced. It's very, very tiny. Necessary. How about tomorrow? The t is not tomorrow. It's not tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So the t has the schwa. And this is the symbol for it. Really easy to remember. It is the upside down version of the letter E. Between 1 and 2, choose any one because they're very similar. Yes, number 1 is? Teacher. Good. Number 2? 3? 4? The D is right, but the symbol there is O. Door. D-O-O-R. Door. Again, this depends on your accent, the way you say the word door. I say door, but somebody from Britain would say door, open the door. Okay, number 5? Monday, exactly. 6? Hello. Yeah. 7? American. 9? Musician. Good. 10? Lawyer. Yes. Good. 11? 12? The word is correct. The stress is not. Yes. Address. The little mark you see between the schwa and the dress, that shows that the stress is going to fall after that little mark you see. So the stress is on dress. 13? Yes. 14? Yes. 15? Yes. Exactly. Okay, yes, this is very important. Again, because this is a workshop for teachers, I want to teach you things that I know need to be taught to teachers, because then you are going to go into your school and teach your students, right? Very, very important concepts as teachers of language. Do you know the difference between voiced and voiceless consonants? Maybe? Okay. There's a very quick test, which is called the vibration test. You take the back of your hand and you put it on your throat, and then you say different letters. You make different sounds. Now go ahead and say B. Now say P. Which one vibrated more? The first one. Now say D. Now say T. Which one vibrated more? The first one. The first ones are voiced because they vibrate. Syllables, easy concept. We all know what that is. How do you define a syllable? The shortest possible sound unit. Okay? How many syllables in the first one? How do you know? Exactly. Okay. How would you teach syllables in the second one? Any alternative method other than clapping? Like this? Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. Like catnip. So if your chin touches your hand, that's a syllable? Smart. Like that. Okay. How many here? Mastermind. 3. Okay. Troublesome. Count. 3. How many here? How many here? Did you figure out who I'm talking about here? Cats. Yes. Cats are masterminds. Okay, stress. We look at stress on 2 different levels. The first one is word level, and both of them are very, very important. How would you pronounce this? And? This one? And? Yes. Present. Present. The capital part is more stressed. You say it louder and longer. What is the difference between these two? It changes the meaning. How? It changes the part of speech. Exactly. So when you're saying, I am recording this event, versus, is there a record of this event? It's a noun. Exactly. Produce and produce. Take a minute, read the whole thing, but stress a different word each time. Now, I want to talk about 3 things where sound matters more than spelling. Yes? That break was not enough. How would you say this? A what? Now, technically, university starts with a U, which is a vowel. Why do we say a university? The sound of university is a Y sound, which is a consonant. It's not a vowel. Same thing there. Unanimous. The sound is Y. What about here? In both these examples, H is silent. So the first sound is a vowel sound. That is why we say an. Lots of teachers don't know this, unfortunately. How would you say this? I. When you say, I packed my bags, what do you hear? You hear a T. Why? K is unvoiced. The sound of this will also be unvoiced, which is T. I bagged my packs. What is G? Voiced or voiceless? So, same spelling, but the sound is different because this is voiceless, this is voiced. What about this one? Slapped. Because P is unvoiced. So this will sound T, slapped. This one, rubbed, voiced. It goes hand in hand. What about this one? If a word ends in a T or a D, then the ED is always id. Started, dotted, nodded, shaded. It's the same S, but depending on what the last sound is, it changes. Dogs. We never say dogs. It's hard. Try saying dogs. It doesn't work. So these 3 were very important to me personally from my experience. I thought it was worth sharing here. Let's move on. Before I go on to what I have here, I will just ask you first, and then whatever ideas you give me, then we'll show the next slide. What are some strategies to teach pronunciation in your class? How do you teach it? Just throw ideas. Listening, saying the word wrong on purpose. Very good. Choral repetition, tongue twisters, minimal pairs, imitation, games, self-assessment, syllable clapping or tapping like we did, songs, poems. I'm sure there are others, I was tired here. These are strategies. What are some activities you can use to teach pronunciation? Any familiar? Everybody has WhatsApp now. Use it. Ask them to record themselves and then listen to their own selves. It works very well. Strategies for retaining spelling. These two were for pronunciation. What about spelling? What do you do to retain spelling?
You want to know?
Chale. Most of these have worked for me personally as a student and as a teacher wherever I've taught. Excellent methods, excellent methods. This is it. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated it for you to give your Saturday morning to us. Thank you so much. I really hope this was helpful.